Good evening, Oswego, and welcome to WTOP 10 Tuesday Night News, your connection to Oswego and beyond. I'm Barry Weigel.
And I'm Marissa Sarbach. Today is November 29th, and this is your news, sports, and weather, all before the first commercial break. Let's take a look at your top stories. 10 News starts now. American
Airlines parent company is filing for bankruptcy. AMR Corporation made the announcement this morning, but the company says it didn't make the decision because it's completely out of cash. Instead, they say it's a strategic move. In a statement, the company said the decision is part of an effort to, quote, achieve a cost and debt structure that is industry competitive. AMR says the bankruptcy filing won't affect flight schedules for American Airlines, American Eagle, or other subsidiaries.
Facebook could soon be opening its stock to the public. The Wall Street Journal states that it could be one of the largest initial public offerings ever. The Journal reports that the company hopes it will increase its value to more than $100 billion. If Facebook does decide to go public, it is expected to happen in May or June next year. So far, nothing is definite.
All right, so kind of a rainy day today, but definitely warm.
Yes, thank God it's warm. And now we'll check our current conditions outside with meteorologist Julie Budd. Julie, what's it looking like out there?
Good evening, Oswego. I'm meteorologist Julie Budd, and I'm outside the studio right now. If you take a look at our current conditions, you'll see that it is 58 degrees right now, but it is raining, so we can't enjoy those high temperatures too much. And if you look at our radar, you'll see that these showers are widespread, so they probably won't be letting up for the next couple of hours, and they might even last into tomorrow if you take a look at our 3-day forecast, but Thursday and Friday will be calm. I'll talk more about that later in my extended forecast. For now, I'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Julie. Michael Jackson's doctor is sentenced to years behind bars after being convicted of involuntary manslaughter in the pop star's death.
A judge gave Conrad Murray the toughest sentence allowed by law after Jackson's family called for justice. Emily Schmidt reports.
Murray did not speak to the court as he faced his sentence. In fact, he was most demonstrative, leaving the room. But Judge Michael Pastor said Murray's actions after Michael Jackson's death spoke volume.
He has absolutely no sense of remorse, absolutely no sense of fault, and is and remains dangerous.
The sentence, 4 years in jail, the maximum sentence. Murray's lawyer had pushed for probation, saying Murray already faces a lifelong stigma.
Murray, whether he's a barista for the rest of his life, whether he's a greeter at Walmart, he's still going to be the man that killed Michael Jackson.
Prosecutors argued Murray had only looked out for himself as he tried to conceal Jackson's home use of the surgical anesthetic propofol.
The defendant was playing Russian roulette with Michael Jackson's life every single night.
Jackson's family chose to have a spokesman read their statement in court. It said they're not seeking revenge and added,
"We respectfully request that you impose a sentence that reminds physicians that they cannot sell their services to the highest bidder and cast aside their Hippocratic oath to do no harm."
Part of Murray's sentence is still undecided. Prosecutors asked for more than $120 million in restitution to make up for the losses from Jackson's planned concert tour. The judge hasn't set that number yet. Whatever the amount, it could keep Murray from profiting off Jackson's death. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
There have been many elections in Egypt before, but not like this one. Voters are hopeful that this time their choices might actually count. Polls are now closed and the ballots under seal after day one of the country's parliamentary election. People stood in line for hours today to vote in the first election since President Hosni Mubarak was booted from power.
Myanmar recently released about 200 political prisoners. It is thought that another 2,000 remain behind bars. One man, Win Tin, spent almost 20 years in a Myanmar prison. He says he was often tortured. That was his punishment for daring to criticize the military leadership. Reforms in Myanmar have been well publicized around the world, but do the Burmese people actually believe in them? Changes that seem exciting in the political world have clearly yet to have an impact on the streets.
More details coming out in the Syracuse basketball scandal that's going on down there.
Okay, I'll be very interested to see that. And now we'll see what's going on with sports with Stuart Seidel.
Good evening, I am Stuart Seidel, and this is WTOP 10 Sports. There have been some questions floating around about Jim Boeheim's future with Syracuse basketball after all the child molestation allegations against his former longtime assistant coach. But on Tuesday, Boeheim got a little bit of assurance when Syracuse Chancellor Nancy Cantor said that Boeheim is, quote, our coach. Coach Jim Boeheim is in his 36th season with his alma mater and ranks 5th all-time in wins in Division I basketball. That's all for sports. We'll be back a bit later in the show, but for now, let's send it back to the news desk.
More information on the fines scandal now. A week after a rift between Syracuse police and the Onondaga County District Attorney's Office became public, files from the investigation into the allegations of sexual abuse against former Syracuse University basketball associate coach Bernie Fine finally changed hands earlier today. According to WSYR and the Syracuse police, most of the documents are now in the district attorney's hands, while others are being photocopied in order to be sent to his office.
An Oswego woman and her child are recovering from injuries suffered when they both were hit by a car on Tuesday morning. Police say 25-year-old Jennifer Gates was pushing a stroller with her 2-year-old son along West 5th Street when she was struck by the car. The vehicle had been pushed onto the sidewalk after being struck by another car that failed to yield the right-of-way at a stop sign. Gates and her child are recovering at the Upstate University Hospital.
State Senator John DeFrancisco is calling on Central New Yorkers to support the troops this holiday season by participating in cell phones for soldiers. According to WSYR, DeFrancisco, an Air Force veteran himself, is a longtime supporter of the effort to provide cell phones to soldiers overseas in order to help them stay in contact with loved ones in the States. Donated phones are sent recellular, which pays cell phones for soldiers for each phone to provide an hour of talk time.
Will these warm temperatures last into the weekend? Find out with my full forecast. You're watching WTOP 10 at 10.
You're watching WTOP.
Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
10 News Canales Week is sponsored by Canales Restaurant, located at 156 West Utica Street. Dine in, take out, or delivery on and off campus. 315-343-3540 or online at canalesrestaurant.com.
So you can't save money? That's easy as pie. Drink from the tap. A $3 bottle of water a day times 10 years times 6% interest is over 14,000 clams. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
Hi, I'm CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10, your television station.
SUNY Oswego is hosting a showing of the German movie The Lives of Others. The showing will be tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. in the Campus Center Auditorium. The film takes place in 1984 East Berlin, where an agent of the secret police conducting surveillance on a writer and his lover finds himself becoming increasingly absorbed by their lives. The showing is free.
There is a holiday concert on December 2nd at the Waterman Theater in Tyler Hall. The concert will begin at 7:30 p.m. The state singers, the Select Vocal Jazz, and the Chamber Ensemble will be performing. Some musical pieces that will be included are In the Mood, Deck the Halls, and Sleigh Ride. This concert is absolutely free, so make sure you take advantage of this amazing opportunity during the holiday season.
And now we want to share with you a fun story from our campus.
Earlier this week, Barry and I had the chance to meet with Rodney Warren, and here's his story. Many of you may have seen him around campus, and you might know him as the Squirrel Kid. Rodney Warren can feed and pet squirrels.
It's a trick from psychology called study of Pavlov's dogs. You can teach an animal, or a person for that matter, a learned stimulus via audio or visual. So I use an audible noise and the visual cue. The first one took me probably an entire semester, and then after that, it probably takes me about a month and a half, 2 months to train a squirrel.
Rodney attracts the squirrels using peanuts and a clicking noise, training them to act almost as pets.
Some will climb on me, some will climb my pant legs, one will stand on my arm. Some guys can get them to sit on their shoulders, not around here. But
Rodney Warren has been feeding squirrels on campus for a long time. Unfortunately, some of the student body isn't that open-minded towards his hobby.
Before this semester, it was primarily negative. I've actually had some of my stuff scattered across the quad because of a bully. I've had people say negative things to me. This semester has been a complete 180. Everybody's really nice to me, super positive, saying all sorts of nice things. I honestly don't even know how to handle it. That's how much of a turnaround it is.
He has only tried this practice with squirrels, but he believes in theory it would work with any animals.
But I would like to try it with other wild animals sometime, like maybe raccoons, skunks if I'm feeling extremely courageous, maybe like coyotes, things like that. That would be interesting. It's a hobby. I mean, it's something I would like to, maybe someday show my kids how to do, and probably I'll continue to do it no matter where I live with whatever animal happens to be present. But as far as an actual future, I have no idea. It's just a hobby, nothing more.
Rodney hopes that his legacy will continue after he graduates this coming spring.
Actually, it's funny because before today I would have said that I don't know what's going to happen after I graduate, but somebody talked to me today and I guess I might be passing on the knowledge of how to do it to a freshman. So,
for 10 News, I'm Marissa Sarback.
That certainly was a fun story to shoot.
I know, I think that's the coolest thing. I can't believe he can talk to them.
And it's not just him that can do it. We didn't show the footage, but we actually had a chance to feed the squirrels ourselves.
That was really cool. That was a great experience for me. I know for you too.
It was, a lot of fun.
And now here's a look at your full forecast with Julie Budd.
Hello again, Oswego, and here's another look at your current conditions. Like I said, it is 58 degrees outside, which is much above average for this time of year. As you can see, we reached a high of 63 today. That's not very far from our record high temperature of 66, and it's even much above our average. Our eastern U.S. satellite, you can see that this pressure system right here is what's causing us to have all this rain right now, and this is making it unpleasant for these warm temperatures. And if you look into our 1 a.m. forecast, you'll see that the rain is still lingering around, and by 7 a.m. it will be gone, but by 4 p.m. you can see that this is snow. We could possibly have some snow tomorrow, and yeah, that's not going to be very good because we have warm temperatures. Across the state, you can see that we have a high in Albany of 63, 58 in Syracuse, and 46 in Buffalo. These are pretty warm temperatures for this time of year. And as you can tell from our national radar, again, here's the system that is affecting us right now, and it will affect us throughout the rest of the week because this is a very moist system moving through. And tonight we'll have temperatures of 45 degrees, rain with accumulations from 1/2 an inch to 3/4 of an inch with winds from the south at 10 miles an hour. And tomorrow, a temperature of 47 degrees with rain, cloudy, possible showers will be on and off throughout the day with, again, a south wind of 10 miles an hour. And tomorrow night, a temperature of 35 degrees. This is dropping a little bit from what we're used to. Cloudy, another chance of showers, but you probably won't see much with west winds at 20 miles an hour. And Thursday, 44 degrees, partly sunny. You can see that the rain has moved out for a little bit, but we will see it Again, in our extended forecast, you can see that Thursday and Friday will be nice. Again, also with Saturday, but Sunday and Monday could be rainy again.
So definitely saying goodbye to that Indian summer we had today.
Yes, it's been very nice. The raininess is kind of like what we lost in October when it was nice and sunny.
I know. I'm really glad that you said it's going to stop raining in the morning, too, because I just don't want to deal with that again. When we come back, we will have Erica Grill with your Oswego news.
A wildfire can come from anywhere, even the most unexpected places. But 9 out of 10 are caused by humans and can be prevented. Protect our friends in the forest.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
10 News Canales Week is sponsored by Canales Restaurant, located at 156 West Utica Street. Dine in, take out, or delivery on and off campus. 315-343-3540 or online at canalesrestaurant.com.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I
am
an American.
I am an American.
I am American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I'm an American. I am an American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
SUNY Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
And now here's Erica Grill.
Thanks, Marissa. Award-winning actor Paul Verjekis visited SUNY Oswego on November 9th, performing an original play, Love Cures Cancer. I went to Waterman Theater to uncover the story behind the play. Love Cures Cancer is a unique one-man musical brought to you by SUNY Oswego's arts program.
Will be phenomenal.
Verjekis is a visiting artist of Oswego's Telling Tales Project, a collaborative program aimed at fostering lifelong learning and promoting cross-cultural understanding through quality arts programming.
And the feeling behind that was to try to develop a series of courses that would be interdisciplinary in character, that would use artists as a catalyst for student creative work.
Written by George Shafet, Love Cures Cancer is part of a Lithuanian trilogy about a Lithuanian-American son's journey back to the old times. Verjekis visited the SUNY Oswego campus 4 years ago to perform the first part of the trilogy, Notes to the Motherland.
And the characters are two brothers. I have a brother, and there's the father. And although we don't really sound and look like this, the energy of what happens in this story was a lot like what that time in my life felt like.
Love Cures Cancer is the second part of the trilogy, a story set in the 70s about a family coping with the death of their mother, who fought a long and painful battle against cancer.
Hello? Pepe speaking. Cancer?
Though Verjekis did not write the play himself, Love Cures Cancer is about his own experience. He jumps into character, or characters, based loosely on his own mother, brother, father, and himself, giving the audience one unique experience.
I was very impressed in how I could move around and become the different people. I thought that was fantastic.
Everyone has, tragedy in their lives, like they have hardships, and everyone could relate to it.
I think his body language is very rich, and some part impressed me a lot, especially a part talk about the character lose his wife, and it reminds me of my grandfather. Yeah, I couldn't help burst into crying.
But when the award-winning actor isn't performing or traveling, he's teaching performing arts to inner-city kids. And as a Telling Tales visiting artist, he will bring those teaching skills to Oswego classes, doing creative workshops with students.
There's a literature class, there's a women in science, there's a screenwriting class. To me, everybody has the ability to tell us, everybody has a story to tell, everyone. It doesn't have to be a theater major. And that's the thing that I'm going to be focusing on.
Verjekis' passion for the performing arts is exemplified through his enormous ability to perform and through his love of inspiring others to follow their dreams.
I mean, the same thing that I experienced when I went to college of being turned on by something that really was exciting and fresh, I want to share that too.
Verjekis will be back at Tyler Hall Thursday for a lab theater where he will guide participants through an original style of movement theater. You know, he came into my Women in Science class. That was actually what he was referring to. And I mean, we aren't theater majors there, but we had a lot of fun. We jumped into different characters playing different women scientists, and it was actually a lot of fun.
That seems like it would be really cool to like just meet him and talk to him. He seems like an interesting guy.
Yeah, it's not something you would expect from a science class, that's
Absolutely.
for sure.
Different.
Thanks, Erica.
Thank you.
Governor Andrew Cuomo says the state-run website for job seekers now lists 52,000 openings statewide. According to the Associated Press and the governor's office, the Jobs Express site has had more than 200,000 visits since it was launched 4 weeks ago and has added 10,000 more listings of job openings. The governor's office says General Electric plans to hold job fairs Wednesday in Schenectady and Thursday in Albany to help fill 100 manufacturing jobs in the area.
A New York dental chain closed offices in 13 states without warning late last year. The company lists no assets and liabilities of $3.6 million in a bankruptcy filing. All Care Dental Management filed for Chapter 7 liquidation this month in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Buffalo. The company claimed it couldn't warn the patients of the closing because its phone system and computer network had been shut down by its network provider. Many patients have sued.
A heartbreaking loss for us Giants fans last night. I'm sure Stu is going to tell us more.
I guess so. And now let's take a full look at sports with Stuart Seidel.
I'm Stuart Seidel. Welcome back to WTOP 10 Sports. The New Orleans Saints hosted the New York Football Giants last night for Monday Night Football. The Giants, who were looking forward to keeping up the Dallas Cowboys, who won on Thanksgiving Day, did not, falling to the Saints 49-24. After a slow first quarter, the teams were tied at 0, but the Saints quickly turned things around and outscored the Giants 21-3 in the second quarter and never looked back. Drew Brees threw for 363 yards and 4 touchdowns and ran in another one, accounting for 5 total touchdowns on the day. Eli Manning had 406 yards and 2 touchdowns. Next week, the Giants host the Packers and the Saints host the Lions. Detroit Lions All-Pro defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh will be suspended 2 games without pay. Suh was seen roughing up a Green Bay Packers player on national television Thanksgiving Day. During the third quarter of the game between the Packers and the Lions, Suh lifted up his right knee and stepped on the right arm of the Green Bay Packers guard, and on the same play, he was also seen shoving the same player's helmet into the ground. The 2-game suspension will cost Suh $164,000. Suh formally appealed the punishment Tuesday afternoon. And according to a source close to the team, the Boston Red Sox have found their new manager. Bobby Valentine has reportedly accepted the job that was offered to him Tuesday night. Valentine last coached in the MLB in 2002 when he was the manager of the New York Mets. He then had a 6-year stint in Japan and has been an ESPN analyst since the 2009 postseason. The 61-year-old has been the manager of 3 different teams since 1985, including 2 MLB teams. That's it for sports. Now back over to the news desk.
When we come back, we're going to take a look at the lighter side of news.
CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10, your television station.
SUNY Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
10 News Canales Week is sponsored by Canales Restaurant, located at 156 West Utica Street. Dine in, take out, or delivery on and off campus. 315-343-3540 or online at canalesrestaurant.com.
Hi, we're Real Big Fish.
And you're watching WTOP 10.
Like the number.
I'm lucky. I get to do something I love.
How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork?
I help keep kids in school.
Good.
And that's the name of the game.
My name is LaDania Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
Take a look at the lighter side of news. 100 years and counting. A Pennsylvania man can now call himself a centenarian. Jack Lindsley celebrated his birthday by making the rounds at the Doylestown Hospital. He's volunteered there for 20 years and says it's just another day on the job. And he has this advice for other seniors. Think about volunteering.
Thank you.
I tell them to do it. Don't sit and look at the four walls. That'll kill you.
That's good.
No, I have something to do. Go to Atlantic City.
Says in addition to staying busy, sense of humor is a good thing too.
It's not busy when you're in space, but this Japanese astronaut found a way to pass the time by playing baseball at the International Space Station by himself. Check it out. You can see Satoshi Furukawa here pitching the ball. He then quickly floats to the other side of the room to hit it with a bat. Then he jumps back to make the catch. The astronaut has returned to Earth since this video was taken.
Frosty the Snowman is feeling the heat. In fact, he was led away from a Maryland Christmas parade in handcuffs, charged with assault and disorderly conduct. It happened Saturday in Chesterton, Maryland, after an alleged confrontation with a police officer. I guess Frosty got a little too into the Christmas spirit. Look at Frosty go to the police station. Now let's take a look at your Class Day forecast.
Thank you, Barry. Tomorrow we'll have cloudy skies and degrees in the 40s when you wake up. Our high temperature will peak around 11 o'clock and then it'll start cooling down, and even some rain around 4 p.m. So don't be prepared to wear shorts. You might want to wear a hoodie and maybe something rainproof.
All right, thanks, Julie. So it must get boring out in space, right? You got to play baseball by yourself.
Yeah, imagine that, just playing baseball by yourself. I mean, that's pretty cool.
I think it's really cool. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's
a good
smart
story.
idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got to find some way to keep busy.
Probably hard to play other sports like football, you know.
Yeah.
Really hard.
You can always play catch with yourself. I guess kind of just lob it up and
There
kind of
you
float
go.
to this.
You do baseball. You can try that.
But Squirrel Man, though, I've never knew. I've always heard rumors about this Squirrel Man, but I've never known who he was. But now I see him all the time, all over
Absolutely.
campus.
He's definitely a campus celebrity.
Oh,
Everyone knows him.
absolutely,
He's talking about the
absolutely.
Squirrel Kid.
Yes, and now everyone knows who he is too. Everyone knows his name is Rodney, and he's really nice. So don't be afraid to go talk to him. He
Absolutely.
definitely.
If you have any questions, or if you want to feed the squirrels, just go up and let him know.
Yeah, I definitely want to try talking to the Squirrel Man. Maybe pet some squirrels here or there.
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us here at WTOP 10 News. For the 10 News team,
I'm Stuart Siddell.
I'm Julie Budd.
I'm Marissa Sarbach.
And I'm Barry Weigel. Have a great night, Oswego. We'll see you here tomorrow.